Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Marissa Kai-Millick. I'm a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and binge eating coach. I get asked all the time, how do I stop my cravings? And usually my answer to that is eat what you're craving. I mean, truly the best way to curb a craving is to satisfy the craving. But what about when the cravings feel more extreme? If your cravings feel more out of control, it could lead to overeating more often on less nutritious foods or even binging. So if this sounds like you, there are a few reasons I want to share on why this might be. Before we dive in, I want to give a general disclaimer that the information in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only, so always seek out a healthcare provider about your unique healthcare needs. Your relationship with food is dynamic, and this video is only a small snippet into uncovering what may be underneath your cravings. When I Google how to stop cravings, the first two ads that come up are for diet programs. I can tell you the best way to continue getting extreme cravings is to try to restrict yourself from the cravings more. So another diet is not the answer. But with this Google search, there's so much conflicting information. It's all go for a walk, eat more protein, manage your stress, but what is this actually doing? It's putting a band-aid on a problem instead of actually what is causing the problem. Now, I put problem in air quotes because I don't necessarily think getting a craving is always a bad thing. A craving is often a signal from our body that we need more of something, whether that is genuinely the food we are craving or just the stimulation we get from that flavor. There are instances, though, where cravings may feel more out of control, and that's where I want to step in and give you these practical tips to identify where these cravings are coming from and implement some action steps to make them more manageable. Let me first tell you what we're not going to do. I'm not going to tell you to throw out what you crave, never buy them again, and chew on ice chips instead. Hell no. We know that restriction causes further cravings and could lead to binge eating, which I talk about more in depth in this video here. I don't know what side it's on, so watch that if you want to know more about why restricting is not the answer. I'm all about getting to the why of the reason something is happening and going from there, so let's start here. So why do we get cravings? There are many reasons. Like I mentioned earlier, sometimes a craving is simply a signal from our body. You know that feeling when you wake up at 2 a.m. and you just have to get up, get a glass of water, and then you stumble into the kitchen and chug a glass like it's pure Icelandic glacier water? Yeah. That craving for ice cold water was really a strong signal that you're probably a little dehydrated, especially if it woke you up from your sleep. Same thing with food cravings sometimes. Our bodies are very smart, and if we are deficient or lacking in something, there's a good chance that it's what we're craving. Probably the biggest reason, though, that we get extreme cravings is from not eating enough. When you haven't eaten enough to fuel your body, either by literally not eating enough or going too long between meals and snacks, that hunger may manifest as a strong craving. If this happens consistently, it might be a good time to look at your meals and eating routines and see where and why this is happening. Odds are there's probably a long period of time throughout the day where you're glued in at work and distracted, and you might need to make some time for an afternoon snack, or that bland salad you keep eating for lunch just isn't satisfying enough. But what about when that restriction is intentional? I had a client once who explained to me how she gets really extreme cravings for sweets after dinner. She said even though she feels like she eats enough and is full, she can't help but want to binge out on the ice cream tub in her freezer every night. When I took a look at her day and what she was eating, I uncovered that she still had some fears around eating carbs in the evening, so she left them out at her dinner. We worked through this mental restriction over time, and once she started to reintroduce carbs again with dinner, the cravings were more manageable. It doesn't mean she never wants ice cream after dinner ever again. I mean, who doesn't want ice cream as dessert sometimes? But what this did was make it so that if she did decide to enjoy some ice cream, she didn't feel out of control and she didn't binge on it. And she didn't actually have the craving every single day anymore. So this is a good example about how restricting the carbs made my client crave more carbs from the ice cream. Her body clearly needed more carbs in the evening for her to feel best. Now, of course, this isn't always the case. A craving for ice cream doesn't necessarily mean your body needs more carbs. So for the sake of another example, let's say she was eating carbs with dinner, but still had these extreme cravings afterwards. If she still had those mental restrictions around having sweets after dinner, that's actually enough to cause more of a desire to have it. When we think, I should do this or I shouldn't do that, these are really sneaky rules because they don't sound super restrictive. They sound more like guidelines, but parameters around what we should or shouldn't do can cause us to actually desire that food more and can lead to the all or nothing mindset. Meaning, if you do allow yourself to have some, it can lead to feeling like it's now or never, causing a binge. It's better to trust yourself, have a little ice cream, and move on. Now, you might be thinking about how eating more sugar actually impacts cravings. These are my favorite candies, and I got them for Christmas. So good. While yes, it is true that eating more refined carbs and sugar can quickly spike and then drop our blood sugars, leading to more cravings, that does not mean that we can't have refined carbs or sugar ever. But balancing our carbs with fat and protein can help manage our blood sugars a little better, preventing that crash that usually leads to further extreme cravings for more sugar. So if you experience these cravings after eating refined carbs and sugar, then maybe consider balancing it out with some protein or fat to see if that controls your cravings a bit more. Now I just want to munch on these for a minute, so quick intermission. What about that feeling after you come home from work after a long day and you just want to veg out on a bag of chips? Is that a reasonable craving? My answer is yes and no. While it's reasonable to want to cope with a bag of chips or another satisfying food, it may not be what your body is actually needing. It's probably not what your body's actually needing. Meaning, if you get strong cravings in an emotional state, that's more likely a sign that an emotional need is not being met, and it's really not about the food. The food may serve as a temporary distraction to the emotional need, but eventually that emotional need will still need to be met. I'm definitely not saying that a candlelit bath tastes the same as a bag of chips. It might be good to satisfy your craving while also navigating what emotional need is not being met and finding a way to do so. And lastly, sometimes you walk past Auntie Anne's in the mall and you just want a damn pretzel, and that's okay. Honor your craving and move on with your day. The straight shot to another craving and potential binge is to feel guilty and beat yourself up over your choices. So enjoy yourself and move on. Now, this list could go on and on and on. That's why if you feel like you can't get to the bottom of your extreme cravings, it's important to work with a healthcare professional like a registered dietitian for your unique needs. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I would super appreciate it if you could give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. It really helps the algorithm to get my videos out there so more people can hear my message. Subscribe if you like this and you want to see more. And if you are looking for help with binge eating, I have a group coaching program called Binge Freedom Breakthrough. In this program, we work on building a trusting relationship with your body to overcome binge eating and move forward in creating a healthful and balanced life. I incorporate intuitive eating into my practice so you never have to diet again. If you're looking for more information, click on the link in the description bar below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everyone. YouTube channel. Oh my God, I hate this because it echoes. If your feelings is for energy, that the information, oh my God, my words. Wrong. Okay. Now my mouth is really watery. Oh, I'm not even recording. Thing I checked. Okay.